Hi! I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've played both of the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demos, so let's talk about it. Oh hi, it's me, and I'm coming at you with a brand new kind of content. I'm really excited to say that thanks to Square Enix, I was able to get a hands-on preview of both of the available demos for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at London MCM. I was really honoured that I got an extended look at both demos, especially considering this was the first time they were both playable in the UK. I've been waiting so long, and was it worth it? Yes. Yes, it was. So I'm going to take you along for the day with me before I then chat about my experience with the demos and my thoughts on them. Let's mosey. Square Enix stand is, and I'll let you guys know what I do. So we managed to find the booth, and it's so cool. The demo is actually playable in a big bus, and I'm so excited. Happy! An angel! So very first impressions, Sephiroth is so strong, you can fight as him and his abilities, it just hits so hard, it's absolutely insane, it's so cool! Oh my gosh, we've played it! What were your first impressions?
I love it and I can't wait to play the whole game.
It's so good!
It's so good!
The baby chocobos!
Oh my god! So good.
And we had like different outfits in our chocobos, so I had like Shinra armor, you had...
Mine looked like a detective, I loved it. I was like, oh look at you, detective chocobo.
The drip. The drip. So where do I even begin to start talking about these demos in detail? So as I mentioned, I got to play both of the available demos. This included the Mount Nibble? The Mount Nibble? I'm just going to call it Nibble. Mission with Sephiroth, as well as the open world section in Junon with the rest of your usual party. We're going to start by taking a look at Mount Nibble because I feel like there's most to talk about in this section because it introduces something entirely new in terms of Sephiroth. And also because I'm mostly like thirsty for that man, so... Okay, no, but seriously, this whole section was so fun to play. I'm mostly going to be talking about the boss fight section because this is where most of the content is, but I'm also going to touch upon the area just beforehand. This section includes Cloud, Tifa, Sephiroth, and a mysterious soldier heading up the mountain path together. There's a few smaller monster fights in this section to get you used to the combat system, and Cloud and Sephiroth are both playable. Tifa is not yet playable as a party member in this. And obviously that's because this is a flashback section before Tifa becomes like a fighter as she is in the game we know. There weren't too many enemies to fight in this section, and it felt really balanced, so it wasn't too overwhelming going in if like I'd not played any of the games before and this was my first experience of Final Fantasy VII. And it really helped ease me back into the combat system after not picking up Final Fantasy VII for a little while. I really liked the puzzle section of this level where you had to like drag a Mako filter around to like suck up excess Mako. It was just a fun little like change of pace. It's a very simple puzzle mechanic, but it's nice to have a variation in gameplay that isn't just combat or like running from A to B. Another thing that I have to mention that I'll more so go into detail when I talk about the other section is the environment and just how beautiful this game is. There were a few moments where I generally just had to stop and look over the environment because it was just so big and so beautiful and immersive. The environment models were just so pretty, like the rolling ocean of the planet, There's a moment where you come over the cliff and like see just a vast ocean. It was just so wide and big and beautiful. I especially loved the glowiness of the Mako Spring at the start. That was beautiful. Now, onto the most important part of having Sephiroth as a playable party member is the combat. I've been really excited to experience this section hands-on because I've been so curious to find out how Sephiroth feels to play. Sephiroth's combat really packs a punch and his attacks are just so fast. A detail I really love is that when you dodge a Sephiroth, he almost like teleports from one spot to the other, so instead of rolling, he literally just zips in and out of existence. It like fully cements his otherworldly superhuman abilities to us as a player. And I just love how different Sephiroth and Cloud feel to play. Sephiroth is super fast and just really OP in terms of damage, whereas Cloud obviously has these huge sweeping attacks with the Buster Sword. And whilst he can feel a little bit more sluggish, especially when you're not in Punisher mode, you really feel that force of the Buster Sword. It really feels like a mentor and a student working together, and it makes you realise just how powerful and more capable Sephiroth is as a fighter over Cloud. And it kind of makes me feel better for how bad I was at fighting him in the first game. One of my favourite combat elements in this section between Cloud and Sephiroth particularly was the synergy abilities. This coordinated attack between the two, called the Double Helix, dealt huge damage to the Materia Guardian. I loved the little animation leading up to it, and it was just such like a satisfying attack to pull off. Teamwork makes the dream work when it comes to our pretty boys, and the varying combat styles are just so much fun to play. Other than combat, another point I have to mention that I absolutely love is the writing for the characters. The little mannerisms in their interactions are just so lovely and human. The way Cloud is so eager to please Sephiroth and is just so excited at any kind of acknowledgement from him. Oh my god, obsessed. The two characters were just so cohesive as one force in both combat and the dialogue, and I'm really excited to see how that is continued in the full game. So the next section, Junon, I don't have quite as much to say about this one, just because I was mostly focusing on like such a new gameplay element as Sephiroth being playable, but I still have some points I want to chat about because I'm just so excited about this freaking game, man. It's so cool. For those that don't know, I'm relatively new to the Final Fantasy franchise. I've only played Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts. I then played Final Fantasy VII Remake about a year ago, finished it, loved it, wanted to know what was going on with the characters and story, so I actually then went back and played the Switch port of the original Final Fantasy VII, which was really difficult for someone who is not good at JRPGs, but I really love the story of Final Fantasy VII. It's something that I've become really invested in. I've watched Advent Children, and I'm just, as someone that I would say is relatively new to the Final Fantasy fandom, it's just really exciting to see so much hype about this game. Anyway, off track, Junon. This level, stunning, beautiful open world. It's just so bright, especially compared to like the other demo. Like it's just out in this beautiful, sun-kissed, expansive environment. I was just obsessed with the lighting. Once again, you look out over like the open sea and it's so vast, and I can't wait to see like the other locations in Final Fantasy VII, like in this game, like Cosmo Canyon especially. I'm so freaking excited. One of the major points of this demo was obviously the Chocobo traversal. As a big Final Fantasy 15 fan, and I loved the Chocobo riding in that, I'm so excited we get that in this game. I love their designs, they're such pretty creatures, and like running around on them, I was just having so much fun. And obviously Red 13 riding a Chocobo is just the best thing to ever hit the internet. One of my favourite details with the Chocobos outside of the actual travel system is that you could customise their outfits. So I was playing with another creator, the lovely Marinetic, and her Chocobo was always dressed as like a detective with a little cap and like a almost like a suit shirt thing, whereas my Chocobo had Shinra armor, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm really excited to see in like the full game what kind of outfits you can unlock for your Chocobo. we gotta make the Chocobos cosplay, right? Speaking of Chocobos, I want a baby Chocobo, the little baby one near the stations. Oh my god, they're so cute. I love them. There's a whole thing where Cloud can pet them, and as soon as I pet one, I then pet him like 3 more times. I just kept doing it because the animation was so cute, and it's just, let Cloud have his happy moments. Obviously, we're on more familiar ground with this demo in terms of characters. You have the usual party of Aerith, Tifa, Barrett, and then Red, which was really nice to have the full party out and about. I loved the banter, loved the like little chats between them, and with the NPCs that were also in this demo. All the dialogue just felt really natural and fun, and it was just really lighthearted for the most part. It's just nice to like see the characters interacting as people. All the character models just look so beautiful. I just think that the character redesigns in this are just so pretty. They're all so unique, and I just love them. There was obviously another boss fight in this section as well, but I'm not really going to touch upon that because it's pretty similar to the first game, and I've already chatted about the more unique elements of combat from the Sephiroth demo, so sorry, I'm not going to chat about that as much. It was awesome as always. There's not much more I can say than that. One important thing to note is that I was playing both of these demos in performance mode. You could choose 2 different modes to play in, and that was graphics and performance mode. Graphics ensured that the game was always kept at 4K resolution, whereas obviously performance mode ensured that the game was kept at 60 frames per second, and I always like to do performance because I like my games to look smooth. And true to that, it was so smooth. There's no frame rate drop, everything felt really quick and cohesive, and considering this game is fully next gen, I'm really excited to see how the game fully runs. And that's kind of it. I had the best time, and again, I am really thankful to Square Enix for giving me the opportunity to play these demos. I really wasn't sure I'd get the opportunity before the game comes out in February, so yeah, I'm just really thankful that I got to get my hands on both of them and chat to you guys about this. If you're a Final Fantasy VII fan, I can assure you it's so fun. The game is beautiful and engaging and just runs so smoothly, and that was like an early access demo, you know, that was what, 3 months before the game's due to come out? But just from the demo alone, I am so excited to see how the full game runs. I can't wait to see what direction the story takes in terms of like varying from the original game. I genuinely could not tell you the direction it's going to go, and that's really cool. As someone that again has only recently played it, I'm really excited to see how the story twists a little bit from the original. If you guys enjoyed this, I'd absolutely love a like or maybe even a comment if you want to see more stuff like this. I'd love to do more game reviews and long form videos chatting about video games, because obviously this is one of my huge passions. I mean, hey, I work in video games now, which is pretty cool, and when the full game comes out, like, I'd love to stream it. I'd love to share that experience with you guys, so keep updated with that. As always, you can check out all my socials down in the description. I'll pop them up on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching this. This has been really fun to chat about, something I'm really passionate about, and hopefully this won't be the last time I'm chatting about Final Fantasy on this channel. So I will see you all very soon. Look after yourselves, and is it February yet? I was having a TikTok break and I've already had Sephiroth videos on my For You page, so I'm being called out right now.